So, Jonathan, I wanted to start with a question about what's outdated. Let's talk about the things that exist in this world that in 10 years are going to be obsolete. Maybe it'll take 20 years for them to be obsolete, but we're starting to question them right now.
Things that we're questioning right now are things that still exist that I'm like, how in the world does that still exist?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, how does it still exist?
A credit card. Like, why do we have a plastic credit card? We don't slide it anymore. I could not believe I got a MasterCard that had raised numbers. Why? And it's a pain when you have to slide because my billfold is a little thin thing because I don't have a wallet like... Do you remember when people... That's another thing, a wallet.
A wallet.
Do you remember when
Correct.
Your dad would have that wallet that was like that thick and then complain about his back hurting?
Oh, yeah. Like, the George Costanza wallet.
I've got
It's overstuffed. It's overpacked. Too many cards. You got everybody's business card you're stuffing in that thing.
Oh, man.
You got dollar
business
bills.
Cards. Why do they exist?
Business cards.
But I want to go back to credit cards for a minute. Why does that... Like, why do we have anything like that? With the numbers printed on the...
Yeah.
Why do they print people's waist sides on the outside of their pants? That's outdated, right?
Are you calling to question the revelation of personal information, such as waist size to the watching world? Yeah.
Can you believe that's a thing? Like that I could be in line and somebody's like, I didn't think that guy wore 36.
That's hilarious. So I mentioned the George Costanza wallet earlier. I have to mention another classic Seinfeld moment, which is Jerry scratching out 32 waist size and making it a 30.
Right. But I just, like, with all the bullying and all the other things that are going on right now, I cannot believe that we have waist size on the outside of our pants.
It is an abomination. The waist size revelatory nature at scale is just it's got to go. I'm with you.
Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know.
Like, were they
I don't know.
I could see like maybe a mom was like, well, maybe he'll listen to his friends tell him how he's not listening to me. You know, like
shame.
Were they shaming you into a thin or?
And it doesn't matter if you're overweight, properly weighted, underweighted. Like there's always someone to compare yourself to.
Right. Yeah. It's ridiculous. So I think that should be done away with. Credit cards, wallets, fax machines. I cannot believe that there's people that still use fax machines. I had to download a fax app onto my cell phone.
Yeah.
So I could fax to Fairfield Inn. You know Fairfield Inn and Suites?
The hotel chain.
Yeah,
sure.
I was a Diamond member of Fairfield Inn and Suites, and it was too embarrassing to be a Diamond member there, so I was trying to get out of it. And so I was like, how do I get rid of my Diamond membership here? And they're like, well, you have to fax. And I was like, are you kidding me? I have to fax you something? Like, I can't write an email?
Hold on, back up. I'm sorry. Back up. You're a Diamond member at Fairfield.
Actually, it's Platinum, I think now.
Platinum member, and you were embarrassed by this fact?
Well, you walk in and they're like, hey, Mr. Almanzar, welcome, Platinum member, Mr. Almanzar. I'd be like, can you keep your voice down? I don't want people to know I stay here all the time.
Anybody who frequents the Fairfield Inn and Suites, that means they're impressed with you.
But I'm not. Like, I'm not impressed with me. I'm like, I don't want that to get out. Like, well, it's getting out now. But
yeah, it's out. It's out now.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah. So, I get my free bottle of water and a
faxes, my goodness.
But I had to fax
machine
information. Yeah. And I was like, fax? Are you kidding me? Or when you're on the phone with like a bank or anything and they're like, well, do you have a number I can fax this to? I just want to be like, no. Like, can you Pony Express it?
Here's what you should do. You should completely play dumb next time. And when somebody says to fax it, just go, okay, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah,
and
fax.
have them, and actually having them talk about what it is, that's got to be excruciating.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you put a piece of paper in a machine.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I get the paper?
And and it's not regular paper. I can guarantee, because fax machine paper was never regular paper. It was like this weird waxy paper.
Yeah, just you could totally troll. Okay, where do I get the paper?
Yeah.
What am I, an office supply store?
And then how many times do I have to let it ring?
Yeah.
The phone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big problem. So we got fax machines, wallets, credit cards. What was the other one?
The numbers on the outside of your pants.
Oh, the numbers on the outside of your pants, which is a big problem.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up an idea that I think is another big problem, and that is, can we talk about stamps for a second?
Okay, like people. What were those? The women that would stamp in books. What were those people called?
I don't know. What
They would buy those books and then they would buy all the no. It was like a hobby. They'd go to like Hobby Lobby and buy all these stamps and then stamp inside these journal books or
I
something.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought that was the stamps you were talking
No,
about. Like all these.
I'm talking about the postage
What
stamps.
were those people called? They had a name for themselves, and they were like some kind of moms, and then they would trad moms. I don't know, and they would go around and stamp
like
stuff.
this happens about every other episode where you come up with a reference. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, if I think
I'm sure
of it-
people do.
Yes.
And they're like, Brad, you're like totally dense. You should know what Jonathan's talking about. But just to be fair, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I can't think of what it's called. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about postage stamps.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if I want to mail you something, okay, get you something certified in the mail, I've got to, or not even certified, just mail you anything,
Right.
mail you a check, whatever. I've got to go down to the post office. I've got to purchase stamps. I've got to, stamps have different monetary values. You got the 1 cent stamp, the 3 cent stamp. I don't even know what the market is for a first class stamp right now.
Right.
Do you know what it is?
52 cents. I don't know.
52 cents.
You could tell me $10
and
or
then
7 cents.
And then they change it, and then you gotta all your old stamps are obsolete. Now you gotta like add stamps on top of stamps, and you gotta have 3 stamps to send you a letter. That's a problem.
So, do you remember the Forever stamp? When they came out with the Forever stamp?
No, what's that?
It was like when the stamp went from like 19 cents to 21 cents or some little change like that. They said, or you can buy these Forever stamps. They're 22 cents, but you can use them forever. No matter when you mail something.
Yeah.
If
Forever.
if stamps go up to $10, you can still use these Forever stamps. I kind of wish I had bought a whole bunch of those. But I don't. How would you resell
Was
those?
this like in the 90s? Was this in
I
the
think
early
so.
2000s?
I think 90s.
When did this come?
I think Forever stamp was the late 90s, and I think it had like a flag and it said
man.
Forever.
Feel free to, while we're talking, Google Forever stamps. I want to know more about this.
But what really bothered me in something you just said was when you said, if I wanted to mail you a check. Yeah. That's a phrase that I think should completely die. All of those things in there.
Oh, yeah.
Mail and check should both die.
When somebody says, "Oh, we only take check," like I have to rummage around my house. I got to look in drawers. I got to look in, secret hiding places. I've got to hunt for a checkbook.
Yeah.
Hunt for a checkbook. Big problem. So digital stamps, here's the idea. I just said it, digital stamps. So
Yeah.
the idea is called Stamp Pass.
Okay.
So it's a lot like in Florida, we have something on the turnpike in the interstate called Sun Pass. And every state has a version of this, I suppose, where you're driving on the interstate. You put a little thing on top of your windshield, and it scans every time you go through a toll. They charge you automatically, and no longer do you have to stop at the toll booth, wait in line, pay your $3. Sometimes it's $10. Sometimes it's $20, depending on if you're taking a long road trip. Now you have SunPass, right?
Okay.
So what I'm suggesting is we got the same problem with stamps, which is there's different values for stamps. You don't know how much your package weighs. Like, why are we messing with that? Why not just have your own unique digital stamp that is aligned to your wallet, okay, your digital wallet, and every time you use this unique digital stamp, it charges you whatever the value should be on it. So that's the idea. Pretty simple, digital stamps. It's not out there. I've looked around for it. At least I couldn't find it. Have you heard of anything like this idea?
No.
So what do you think? Give me your gut reaction. Let's take it through the idea exploder. First, we'll go with gut reactions, but the idea is Stamp Pass.
Okay. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay. Break down both of those. What are you optimistic about?
I'm optimistic because I like anything where I don't actually have to make a transaction right there, and like you can scan something and it works all the time.
Friction.
And yeah. It removes friction. That's the optimistic part. April 2007 is when the Forever stamp came out.
Okay.
I am cautious about the fact that why do we still even mail stuff?
Yeah.
I thought 3D printers were supposed to do away with mailing.
Like you're wondering if digital stamps in 10 years is going to not even be relevant.
Right. I mean, it could become relevant. Maybe I'm shocked that the government hasn't figured out a way to force us to stamp emails. Wouldn't that be crazy? If we had to have some sort of digital stamp on an email for it to be able to be delivered.
So I think we did this in a different podcast, but I have 260,000 plus unread emails. So if I was to even start replying to those,
you're going to get charged.
I'm going to get charged every time.
Yeah,
that'd be another reason just to leave them unread.
Maybe you buy like a package of 100,000 emails in there, 5 cents or $1 or something like that.
I hate that idea. I hate that idea. But we live in a stamp world still.
Yeah, no, we do. So that's why I'm cautiously optimistic. Like I think it has a short-term like runway, but something has to change. Like why in the world do we still use stamps? Like that. When you said stamps, I was like, yeah, that's
something visceral happened inside
That's older
of you.
than even a credit card. Like,
yeah,
I remember wanting to get that upside down plain stamp that's worth like $1 million, and it was from like 1901 maybe or something. Like, why are we don't use the Pony Express?
Okay,
I don't get it.
Shipping is still a thing, though. I mean, packages are still getting shipped. I mean, you could use it for that, for shipping.
But why do we have to stick a sticky? You don't lick stamps anymore, right?
Well, I do.
Okay. So why do you have to you lick something and stick it on the outside of a piece of paper and drop it in the mail?
I know.
That's bizarre.
It's a problem. It's happening right now. There are people all over this country licking stamps, placing them on postage,
and hoping it shows up somewhere,
and
just
not even questioning how ridiculous this is. Not even questioning how archaic this is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. It's Stamp Pass, and like Jonathan has his unique code. I would assume it's something that you could easily print out, right, yourself, and I guess tape it to any postage. I mean, that's the next thing we got to talk about is how this actually works. But in my mind, it's easy to get you a unique stamp code that aligns to your wallet, your digital wallet. That part's easy. We still got to solve for getting that unique stamp that is yours onto the postage.
Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to eliminate is I got to go down to the post office to buy a stamp.
Yeah.
I got to go down to Publix to get stamps, and then you get like a roll of them, and then I lose that.
Have you ever felt good after going to the post office? Like, oh man, that was a nice trip. It only makes me feel terrible when I go to the post office. Like I get depressed the minute I pull into their terrible parking lots. I walk into their weird little waiting rooms that are almost like prison. And I'm thinking, who's here to rob this place? Like, why is there so much bulletproof glass between me and the postmaster?
Yeah.
No one's coming here to rob this place.
It's one of those environments that as soon as you walk in, like there's no sound.
Yeah.
There's no sound. Nobody's talking.
No soul.
Yeah. There's no culture.
No, it's terrible. But so I guess going back to gut reaction before we throw it into the rest of the idea exploder, I think something has to change. One of my buts would be exactly what you're talking about. How do you get this stamp pass onto the whatever you're putting it on? Because you can't use you can't be done through a printer because printers are impossible to use, and they never, like, I would be more frustrated if I had to print my own thing. I would just be like, you kidding me? Now I have to buy a printer every time I want to, because you're going to have to buy a new printer every single time you print this, because the ink will go out or whatever.
Okay, let's play this out. This is a great but, and I don't know if I have the perfect solution yet, but let's go through a couple of options.
Fingerprint?
Number one is, yes, you could print it out and just tape it on.
Hate it.
You hate that.
Hate it.
You hate printing. Yeah, you hate printing. It's still better than going down to Publix. You just know it's always on your phone. You just click print, and you've got a stamp right there that you can use. That's your own. Okay. Secondly, is what if you did have a unique stamp pass code that you could write on the envelope? Okay.
So it's not unique anymore?
No, it is unique. It's your unique code. And then here's when that gets put into the postal service system, you get a text message that says, "Is this yours?"
Okay.
And then it gets validated or not validated.
Okay.
So
That's
that's
not bad.
That would be like,
it's still so weird that you're writing. Like I don't know why that's
but you
so
but you
bizarre
have
me.
to on the envelope
Yeah,
write
I
anyways
know.
to
You're right.
Jonathan. All you do is you write your stamp pass code on it and just like it's a number.
I have
that's
a better
yours.
idea.
You have a better idea?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Write the address to yourself.
Okay.
Write the return address to wherever it's going. Don't put any stamp on it. Drop it in a mailbox, and then it'll get returned to sender. And the sender is the person that you're wanting it to go to in the first place.
So what you're suggesting is you completely hack the system?
Yes,
You
why
completely
not?
But but even in that scenario, you have to have a stamp on it. You have
Because
you have to pay for
it'll
it.
get returned for insufficient postage. Right?
I think it would, wouldn't it? Return to sender, or if it doesn't have a stamp on it, do they just go?
They're not going to throw it in the trash. They're going to send it back.
They're going to send it back. Yeah. So this is a different idea now. This is
Okay,
a
let's
totally
go.
different idea now.
Yeah.
It is it might be called fraud.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if is it mail fraud? You're pretending to be somebody. Oh, that might be
guess,
the
yeah.
problem with it.
Yeah.
The problem with your idea, Jonathan,
Is it's illegal.
it's illegal, and you're pretending to be somebody that you're not. So let's go back to my idea.
Okay.
That isn't yet completely solved. We haven't solved, but we're working on it. We're actually ideating live right now. I've given you one option which you don't like, which is you have to print out your unique code and affix it to the postage yourself. Printer paper, where do you get that?
Right.
Printers don't work. Right.
No, never.
I mean,
Never.
a printer.
Once. They work one time.
They work one time. They run out of ink. Where do you get the ink cartridge?
It's more expensive than the printer.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. And then tape. Where do you get the tape?
Right.
I mean, you got like 4 different things.
Yeah,
You got that all have to go right.
Yes. You have to
Everything-
have scissors. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would. Where are scissors in my house?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And why are there left-handed scissors? I still don't get that
People are
one.
left-handed.
What's the difference, man? Like, what is the difference? Is this a left-handed or right-handed microphone? I don't know for sure.
So you want uni-hand scissors for the future? Is this a future episode?
Uni-hand scissors.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
But yeah, so I don't mind you writing down the code and then me getting a text message saying, because how many times am I honestly going to mail something in my life? Like once a month at the most?
Yeah, I think there are a ton of people that still do this. Like that's where I think the market is. I mean, it might not be for you,
Right.
But you would like this better than if you had to send something through the mail, which
Yes.
sometimes you do. A couple times a year, even you have
Yeah.
to do it,
Yeah.
right? Sending. Sometimes it's you have a big event, you want to send thank you notes. It's a higher touch than doing it like a digital thank you note. If you're a business, for instance, it's a higher touch to send something, a note that's in person. Thank you for being a new client. Like there's good business reasons, there's good personal reasons to send handwritten notes still. But do you have anything better than putting your unique numbered code on a letter and then that's connected to your cell phone so you get a text message saying just confirm it? That's the only way that's the only better option I have.
I know.
And it's not a bad option though,
No,
right?
no, it's not terrible. But I feel like I like the idea of having a stamp pass.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the utility part of or how we've worked it out so far. So hopefully there's somebody out there that's smarter and can think of a way to
What's your biggest problem with the best iteration of this so far?
writing the code down.
Yeah.
Like you're having to read somebody's handwriting. That kind of sucks. I mean, they're doing that already.
The post offices, yeah.
Which I don't understand how they do it to begin with.
I have horrible handwriting.
Yeah. So they're somebody we're trusting that the person at the post office can read illegible handwriting and get your
Correct.
stamp correctly. What if we just all paid like a stamp tax
Okay.
and then mailed stuff for free?
Ooh, the stamp tax, man. This is a real non-capitalistic idea you've got here, right? Everybody just pays. So people that are stamping a lot
Yeah.
are paying. The person who's stamping a little is paying for those stamping a lot.
Maybe. Or maybe.
Yeah, you like that idea? You want to keep thinking that one through?
I don't like that idea at all.
Because you and I don't stamp a lot.
No. Yeah.
So we would be paying a tax for people who are stamp happy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You and I are not. You and I are stamp unhappy. I think that's your biggest problem with this is you can't get past the fact that we're talking about stamps.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
Right.
I don't know if there's going to be any utility solution here that's going to make you happy.
What if I get a stamp that I stamp, and it's like a QR code stamp that I'm just stamping on my own envelopes? Everybody gets their own little QR code.
Yeah, I think it still doesn't solve the verification and validation feature, which is it has to be. I think it does have to go back to your smartphone, a text or something where you would go, "Yes, this is mine. I didn't steal Jonathan's Stamp Pass QR code, and I'm using it forever in perpetuity. I'm using his code." That would be a problem, right?
Yeah, but if I stamp it with my QR code,
yeah.
let's say it's my QR code, you steal my QR code, you stamp your thing with it. I could still get that text that says, "Did you send this?"
Yeah, you would. You would just say, "No, I didn't."
What about mobile check? You know how you do mobile check deposits? You just take a picture of the check
Yeah.
and it goes in your account.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just take a picture of the thing and so you have your account? So
yeah,
you
upload it to your account.
Yeah, you take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And you put it in the mail, and then it goes right into your account.
Correct. The only issue you would have there is values like weights, because they weight those. You go to the post office, depending on how much it weighs, depends on how much you're paying.
If it's a package.
If it's a package.
If
Is
it's
it
an
like
envelope,
letters?
I don't think so.
No?
I
You
don't
think
so. And they also have those boxes that it's just $5 flat rate or whatever those are called too. So like when you get into the packaging things, then I don't necessarily think Stamp Pass would have to deal with all the packaging, because with that you could just do you could take it to UPS, FedEx, all those different kinds of things. There, maybe you do take it to the post office because you're going to most of the time anyway. But I think just for stamps, for envelopes, it could be just you're taking a picture of your envelope, uploading it to your account, and mailing it.
And then how does the post office associate?
Same way the bank associates that check that I just mobily deposited.
Yeah, but it's signed. It's got an account number on it. That's how they do it.
Yeah, but
the check has the account number. That's how they're associating it.
Yeah, but they could read the address and see, okay, this is
true. So the address could be it. The address could be
the verification.
The verification.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I do like that better than printing it out.
Yes.
The paper, we've talked about that. Yeah. I personally like just write your unique code on it and get a text message. That to me makes the most sense. But maybe somebody else out there has a better idea on how to slice this thing, but can we all agree we've got to do better?
Yes, we have to. And so we've done gut reaction, yeah, buts. Monetization, I think, speaks for itself, right? Like it's
the post office.
Go.
Yeah, well, the post office is getting it. It's a toll.
Yeah. Names. So you have Stamp Pass.
Stamp Pass.
It's a great name.
Stamp Pass. Yeah, I don't know. Stamp. I don't know anything coming to mind.
Lick it. Like
lick it
or licked. Like we've taken care of it. Like we've
licked.
We beat it. We beat the thing, but also to make us think of the olden days of when we had to lick our stamps.
Oh, I like it. Lick. You know what I like about lick is in terms of like a logo, there's just so many options.
Oh yeah, you can say I lick it a lot. Like I lick this very much. I lick this better than the old way.
Oh man.
I lick this more than when I had to lick this.
Wait, say that again?
I lick this more than when I had to lick this. Full send, just because people say that all the time now.
Full send?
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody say that. Full send?
You've got to be kidding me, Brad.
No, full send?
I feel like you're just putting me on with these
No,
kinds
what
of
do you mean
things.
full send? I've never heard
Just-
anybody say that.
Okay, when we're done with this, just Google full send, and you're going to see a whole
Use it
bunch
in a
of-
sentence.
I don't talk that way. I'm not 20.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. So I was supposed to know early 20s. What kind of culture is this?
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Is this like cool
jargon?
guy?
Cool guy culture.
Cool guy
Yeah.
jargon?
Yeah.
First of all,
I think there's brands.
I'm no longer 20. Okay, I'm 40. Number two, I'm not cool.
I think there's full send. I think full send is a brand.
I had never heard of it.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's another one. Full send, lick it, but I like Stamp Pass the best.
Full send. Stamp Pass is pretty good. Okay, have we exhausted all the categories? Are we ready to rate it?
Rating. Yeah.
Okay, this will be easy. Here we go. I want you to rate this on a scale of licking a stamp
Okay.
and
0.
affixing it to, this is the 0, and affixing it to some kind of postage. To, I mean, gosh, I guess the advent of the email was
Pushing the button.
Was pushing it. You type it out, push a button, and it's out there. So we're gonna go lick a stamp to email. Where do you rate this?
Singing telegram. That's where I'm rating this.
Can I do my best to psychoanalyze why?
Sure.
I think you're still putting this in like the old timey category, which a telegram is, but it's the best version of a telegram.
Right.
Because if you're going to get a telegram,
Yeah.
you want it to sing.
Yes.
Is that why you chose that?
Exactly why.
That's
Yeah.
why? Okay, yeah, I pegged it. And I think that's fair. I think at the end of the day, we've got a system that we all feel is a little old-fashioned, is not running on all cylinders, and we're not going to solve it all right now, but we got to make it a little better.
Yeah.
So Stamp Pass is the way to do it. So
Yep.
thanks for running this one through with me.
Absolutely, man.